Hiya, welcome to the Byway Interrail Pass workshop. We're going to show you and teach you how to navigate the Interrail app. Before we start, I just want to outline the structure of the workshop. We start by introducing the Rail Planner app so that you can familiarise yourself with the platform. We then explain the common terminology, the various ticket types that you're going to come across that will be attached in your journey guide. Following this introduction, we then show you how to set up your pass, create a trip, add journeys to your trip, and then also a tips and tricks section with things that we think will help you on your byway journey. Also, if anyone's coming along for the actual live workshop, we do also hold space for a Q&A session where you can ask any questions. First off, this is what the Rail Planner app looks like. So this is what you would want to download from your app stores or your Play stores and get this downloaded onto your phone. An introduction to the world of Interrail and Eurail. These passes are owned by over 30 railway and ferry companies, offer a single product that allows you to travel seamlessly across various networks. The aim is to simplify and popularise rail, ferry and bus travel across many European countries. However, as you may have noticed, navigating these systems, especially for the very first time, can still be quite complicated, hence the need for this workshop and for putting a video like this together. Also, Interrail and Eurail are the same if you are visiting from outside of Europe. It will be known as Eurail. If you're a resident within Europe, you'll know it as Interrail. Different ticket types. So full fare tickets, these include seat reservations where available, but where applicable, we will attach these to your journey guide and you won't need to also add this into your Rail Planner app. Interrail or Eurail tickets. So these are your no seat allocations. Some routes do not have allocated seats on trains. An example of this is most of Switzerland or many local trains. In this case, your only ticket will be the Rail Planner app. Optional seat reservations. On many routes, reservations are optional. An example of this would be most of the UK. In most cases, we get these to guarantee a seat. Mandatory seat reservation. Some routes require seat reservations on top of Interrail or Eurail pass. An example of this would be the Eurostar. In both cases, we will attach your reservation to the journey guide and you will need both your Interrail pass ticket and your seat reservation to travel. Just always refer back to your journey guide. You can see here that in the yellow information box and the blue information box, we've asked you, please add this journey. And we've let you know, no tickets required for this journey, just use your Interrail pass. So you're always best referring back to your journey guide if you're unsure. Here's some common terms explained. So in the Rail Planner, a trip equals your whole holiday and will be linked to your Eurail or Interrail pass. Your trip covers your entire stay, even if this is across multiple countries. So an example would be taking a holiday from the UK across Belgium, Germany and Switzerland. Journey. So journey refers to either a single leg or multiple legs that you cover during one day. Individual journeys can be added to your pass, which then creates your trip. When adding journeys, it's easiest to follow the journey guide and put in the individual legs. So an example, our imaginary trip could be a journey being the Eurostar from London to Brussels. Pass activation. The pass activation is the moment when you activate your pass, which is reversible up until midnight before your first day of travel. Travel day. Most of you will be traveling on a pass that has a specific number of travel days within a set time frame, usually one or a few months. Each travel day is a day where the pass acts as your main ticket for all legs, with the additional seat reservations where required. It's very important to only activate travel days when the journey guide says so. If one day is exclusively full fare tickets, you do not want to use a travel day, or you may not have enough at the end of your trip. So again, just refer back to your journey guide, and if it's one of your days is an exclusively full fare, you don't need to add this into the Rail Planner app. Travel day activation. This is the process of confirming you want to travel on a specific date. We recommend you do this once you've confirmed all your journeys for that day and made sure it's the correct date. However, this is reversible up to midnight of the day you have picked, and once on the day of travel, you can still add and remove journeys, but you're not going to be able to reclaim that day. Inbound and outbound journeys. This is a special kind of journey. It only applies to anyone travelling on a global Interrail pass. Travel within your residential country is limited to 2 days, one to leave and one to return. On that day, you can have multiple legs within your country of residence. Avoid accidentally activating one of these for a day where you're not travelling within your home country. The Rail Planner app does warn you before you activate your travel that you will be using an outbound/inbound leg, and that it is reversible for any future travel days. So yeah, sorry, I know that it's a lot of things to take in, but with these key terms and processes in mind, we hope that it helps you be a bit more prepared or feel confident navigating through the app, especially with the next few steps that we're going to go through. This section, we cover the actual steps of setting up your pass, and we then show you how to add a trip with journeys and how to edit these. So setting up your pass, open the Rail Planner app and go to My Pass. You'll be tapping on Add Your Pass to get started. You're then going to enter your last name and pass number. You'll find your pass number in your journey guide. Connecting a trip. So if this is your first time using the Rail Planner app, you can create and name a new trip. So I could call my trip Italy 2025, but you can call it whatever you want. If you already have a trip, you can also select that trip. Your trip is going to be where you can view and edit all your journeys. And then activating your pass. So we always suggest activating it a couple days before departure, and then you can add in your passport or ID number of the document you're going to be traveling with. Make 100% sure that the start date is entered correctly. As mentioned, this step is less flexible. You can still edit and even deactivate your trip after, but you've only got up until midnight before the first day of travel selected in the app. So our recommendation is only activate a pass a few days before departure, and once you're certain that everything is in order. Once the pass is linked to your device, you will always be able to find it in the Rail Planner. Travelling with children under the age of 4 travel free and do not need a pass. Children aged 4 and over need their own pass and trip set up in the exact same way. It would either be on their own device or on yours. Group travel, anyone travelling as a pair or a group, you can add multiple passes to one device, but you will need to travel together on all journeys. Same with if you want to share your trips, you are able to do this, but only if you're travelling together. We show you a bit more about this later on. You can also add journeys to multiple passes at the same time if they're all on the same device. But we'll touch upon that a bit later on in the video. So this is planning your journey. You're going to be using your journey guide to find a journey in the Rail Planner app. So as mentioned, a journey is one or multiple legs, and we recommend going leg by leg, following the trip laid out in your journey guide. So on the left here, you can see an example of my journey guide where I'm going from Brussels to Cologne. It's got the date, it's got the times, and I can see I'm leaving at 2:25 from Brussels, getting into Cologne at 4:15. So for each journey, you want to find your timings and departure and arrival stations in your journey guide and add them into the respective fields in the planner section of the app. So you're in the planner section on the bottom left of your Rail Planner app. And another little tip is it's best to put in a time slightly before your actual departure time. We recommend 30 minutes to 1 hour. We've seen that the app seems to sometimes ignore a journey when it matches timings exactly. So instead of me putting in 2:25 to look for this trip, you can see in the print screen number 1 that I've put in 2 p.m. So Another note is that we do try and match rail planners' station names wherever possible, but sometimes these don't match up. So another example, looking at my guide here, my guide says the two different spellings of Cologne. So you've got Cologne with a K and Cologne with a C. If sometimes these don't match up, my recommendation is always to try the city name and see if those timings match up with your journey guide. So just try the various spellings, and then once you find the matching journey, tap on it to select it, and you can then see further details. You want to check that those details match your journey guide. So after clicking on your specific journey, you will land on view number 3 with a detailed overview of the specific journey. And here's what we kind of recommend doing next. You want to verify seat reservations. So some notes will highlight the need for a seat reservation, which we sort out for you and will have attached to your journey guide. Verify by checking for a C reservation button, so the orange button on the left. In your journey guide, you basically can click on that and you should be able to see a PDF of the specific seat reservation. If for whatever reason your reservation is missing, please let us know as soon as possible. But if everything looks correct, you are then able to click on your Save Journey option in the Rail Planner app. So that's the yellow button, the yellow banner at the bottom of the screen that says Save Journey, which will then take you to the second screen in screenshot number 4. And as a final step, we ask you to click the trip you've created. So this one here is called Spring 2024, but yours will be whatever you've named it. And tap that, so tick, and then select Save in the top right corner. And then once you hit Save, you're going to get a push notification at the bottom of the screen indicating that the journey has been saved to your selected trip. So yeah, these are the key steps for adding a journey to your trip. And then you're just going to make your way through your journey guide, filling out each trip. Manual entry. So sometimes the rail planner is unable to find a journey. In this case, you can manually add a journey with the information from the guide. If you're not seeing your times, you are able to scroll at the bottom of the page and tap Add Your Journey manually. Fill in the form with the data required. It's going to ask for departure station and country, departure date and time, arrival station and country, and arrival date and time. It's optional, but you can include details like the transport type and train number, but these are not required. But doing it this way, doing a manual journey entry, is a completely valid way to prove you have a ticket for the journey. So if it doesn't show up, you are able to do it this way and it's completely valid. To see your saved journeys, you can then move over to the My Trip view. So from the planner section, we'll go along one and go to the My Trip section. You can click on your trip to see the journey you've added. All additional journeys you add will be saved here in chronological order. While the toggle is still grey, the journey will remain saved in your trip, but is not yet active. This means it is not a valid ticket yet. And if this grey toggle isn't appearing for you yet, or any stage you're looking and you're saying that grey toggle isn't there for me, that's just because your pass isn't activated. Once you activate your pass a couple of days before departure, this grey toggle will appear next to all your saved trips. But you're more than welcome to start going through the planner, putting in your trips that are in your journey guide, and then once you activate your pass, you'll notice in the My Trip section, you've now got this grey toggle next to all your trips. And while the toggle's grey, the journey remains saved in your trip, but is not yet active. Once you are then confident your journey is correct and you're ready to validate it, you can then press the little grey toggle, which will turn it orange. If this is the first journey you're activating for a given day, the app will remind you that you will be using a travel day. Click the orange box to accept and activate the ticket, which will then be stored under My Pass. So then you can now find your activated journey in the My Pass section of your Rail Planner app. By default, the My Pass will display tickets valid on the day you're checking it. At the top, you'll see a QR code. This functions as your ticket and even works in some countries to get through ticket gates, in the Netherlands, for example. If you keep kind of scrolling, imagine you're on your phone, and you kind of scroll down below that barcode, you will find your specific journey information, important past details, which some inspectors may ask to see, and to view tickets for other days, click on this. And yeah, if you would like to check any tickets you have added for future dates, you can click on the little numbered boxes, as each corresponds to one of your days of travel. By default, my pass will show tickets valid on the day you are checking. So the QR code is basically going to be for all your tickets for that travel day. It's just the one QR code for the day of travel. Tips and tricks. First up is sharing a trip. If you are a group of two or more, you can save your fellow travelers some time by sharing your completely planned trip with them. First, we ask you to triple check you've entered all the legs on the correct date and time, and then click the three dots in the top right corner, and then you're able to select share as a link. From there, you can choose an option that works best for you to share. So you can share over text, email, WhatsApp, Snapchat, and once the link is opened on your fellow traveler's device, it should automatically open the Rail Planner app as long as they've got it downloaded on their phone and suggest saving the trip to their device. So they can then link that trip to their Interrail pass, and then they don't have to go through the planner section of filling out everything again. You've already done the hard work, you've shared it with them, and they can just connect their pass to that same trip. As long as you're taking the exact same trip together, that's also important. Make sure you're doing the trip exactly the same. Some easy fixes. Sometimes, especially when there are internet connection issues, the Rail Planner app can become quite slow. In this case, we recommend a few things. If you're on a train with bad internet connection, switching your phone to airplane mode, disconnecting from the Wi-Fi, trying to log back onto it should help. If you can't see your pass, we recommend fully closing the app and then opening it afresh. If you can see your pass, but your journey is suddenly missing, you can always, politely ask the inspector for a few minutes. You can then use that time to search for the leg whilst on the train, and then you are able to re-add it to your pass. But to avoid any of this trouble, we say make sure that your travel day has been activated before you board. That's with the little grey toggle to yellow toggle. If you kind of do that, get in the habit of doing that the day before your travel day. So when you get to the hotel and you have some good Wi-Fi and you know that you're moving on the next day, toggle that grey toggle to yellow. This activates your travel day and also saves an offline copy of itself for a couple days. So you don't actually need to have any data or internet. It will save an offline copy of itself for a couple days once you validate it, which is turning the grey toggle to yellow. Deleting a journey. If you have added an incorrect journey, you can delete this by going into your trip, find the specific journey. If you're on an iPhone, you swipe left on that journey and you can click the little bin, click the delete button. If you're on an Android, hold down on the journey for a second or two and then press the delete option. Duplicating a trip. If you would like to duplicate a trip, for example, if you're traveling in a pair and will only use one device, we recommend that you ensure that you have all the journeys added. And this process is nearly identical to the steps you follow to share a trip. But this is if you just want to keep it on one person's device. If you're having everyone's trips and passes on your phone and not everybody's using their own, you can basically select duplicate trip to keep it on your device instead of share as a link, which shows it being shared to someone else's. So go to the My Trip section, click on the three dots in the top right corner. You should then see the option duplicate trip. Click this, which will in turn prompt you to give your duplicate a new name. You can then save it by clicking on the yellow banner at the bottom. We recommend naming the trips by your first names, just so you know whose is whose when you're traveling. And moving a pass. It is possible to move a pass to a separate device, but this can only be done once. So we say to save this for an emergency in case your device has been damaged or lost or stolen. All you need is your last name and the pass number. You'll find your pass number in your journey guide. You'll know your last name, and if you need to move a pass over, it is possible to do, but this can only be done the once. So we say to save it for an emergency. And now, yeah, if anyone is coming along to the live workshop, this would be the section where we let you ask some questions and we try and give you some answers. So yeah, if anyone is coming along to that, this is kind of what we would be running through. And then we get to this section and yeah, you're able to ask us any questions and we try to give you some answers. But yeah, thanks a lot. And also, anyone watching this video, if you do have any follow-up questions, you are able to email trips@byway.travel. Thanks.